and it's just us two, Bryan. Wow.
Something tells me Barry White had something else in mind there. But Jamie Foxx is celebrating his birthday today. Jamie Foxx, 45 years old.
Wow.
From Forney, Texas. Huh?
All righty. Salute.
And singing the Brady Bunch.
Cool.
And making it hot.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Big news today coming out of Texas, of course. The Rangers lose Josh Hamilton to the Angels. With us right now on the APEC VIP hotline. APEC providing cutting-edge training for the serious athlete at APEC. Results speak for themselves when their athletes hit the field. It's Anthony Andro from Fox Sports Southwest. How you doing, Anthony?
Just fine.
Okay, we'll just blow this off and talk about the greatness that is the Texas A&M football program right now, okay?
We can do that, although we got to find a new offensive coordinator, but that's a little bit of a blow. It's a blow to the Aggies yesterday, but nothing like what the Rangers got today.
Oh, man. Okay, so I assume you were at the media luncheon today when all this went down?
Yeah, no, we were sitting there, and we saw a couple of things on Twitter while we're trying to eat our turkey and stuffing, which was really good. And then John Daniels leaves the room, and about 10 minutes later, the PR guy for the Rangers calls about 5 of us out there and says, JD wants to talk to y'all. We go out there, and that's where, we get the news that Mike Moy, Josh's representative, had called him and told him that Josh had agreed to deal with the Rangers. And at that time, the stuff that was out there was sources here, sources there, but when the sources, the general manager of the team that he's playing for, you can kind of eliminate sources here, sources there, because, if he's saying it's true, it's true. So that's what we went with.
And especially over turkey and stuffing. Why would the guy lie to you,
It was very savory.
I'm glad. I'm sure it went down a little bit thicker, though, after he found out the news of Josh Hamilton, though.
That pretty much killed the lunch.
Yeah, I can see where it would kill your appetite. But the reality is that the Rangers have been kind of lukewarm on signing Josh ever since the season began, after he had his problem in the bar. And they've never really shown any great urgency to sign him. So how disappointed do they really have a right to be right now?
Well, I don't know that they're disappointed that he's gone someplace else. One, you're going to be disappointed that he's going to a division rival, I guess. And I don't know that they ever really thought that he was going to come back, but I think they're more disappointed in that the way that it was handled because of what they expected, what they'd been told that the Rangers would have. Like John Daniels said, he said it's not a restricted free agent thing, but the courtesy of, hey, this looks like we're going to head to the Angels. They've made us the best offer. Because you're going to have the right of last refusal, which is what the Rangers were under the impression. And that wasn't the case. What they got today was a call that said, hey, Josh is going to the Angels. And I think that kind of disappointed them after the 5 years that they've invested in Josh. And when you invest in Josh, you're not investing in a normal baseball player. It is an investment. It's a 365-day-a-year investment because of all the baggage that he brings with you. So I think they thought they'd built up a little more credibility and a little more trust with Josh than they had. But it's a bottom line. It's a business. 5 years, $125 million, which is what we're hearing. You can't fault the guy for taking that.
And the reports we got were that Hamilton's friends were saying that Josh was disappointed that the Rangers never did make a real solid offer. He was never going to sign for 3 years.
Well, they made an offer in Nashville, and John Daniels wouldn't get into particulars about what that offer was, but there was something on the table for Josh to use. I had somebody tell me that the Rangers had made a 4-year offer to Josh, which the annual was about the same as what he's getting now, but obviously it's a year less. So who knows? I'm sure it's going to come out eventually what the Rangers' offer was, but it's not this. He said the guaranteed money wouldn't have equaled what he's getting from the Angels. I'm sure it was a vesting option. That's what the Rangers are big on doing, especially with someone like Josh. You take a risk when you sign him. So the Rangers had been through that before, and I don't think they were willing to stick 5 years out there for Josh.
Okay, so he's gone now, and it was about a week ago at the winter meetings where there was talk that the Rangers were thinking, hey, man, we might be able to sign Zach Greinke and re-sign Josh Hamilton, and now they got nada. So now what?
Well, now they're out on Justin Upton, which was we thought, a lot of people thought that the Rangers would rather have Upton than Hamilton, and they're not going to. The Diamondbacks aren't going to trade Upton now because they've got the shortstop that they want from the three-way trade that the Rangers were kind of cut out there. It's been. Nolan talked about it today, and John Daniels talked about it today. They tried to soft shoe it that it's not been a bad offseason, but I mean, it has been a bad offseason because if you're trying to make yourself better, the Rangers haven't done that. Joaquin Soria, Giovanni Soto, and Josh Lindblom don't make your offseason better when you're losing Mike Napoli, Michael Young, Josh Hamilton. I mean, that just doesn't add up. And there's really not a lot out there that's going to help them. If they sign A.J. Przinsky, I mean, come on, that's going to give you a part-time catcher and a DH that goes along with Giovanni Soto, but that doesn't make up for the loss. There's not out there that's going to make up for that. I mean, you could try to go pitching, you could try to get R.A. Dickey, but at what cost? Do you get R.A. Dickey, and then you bring in a knuckleball pitcher who's never had success in the American League to an American League park that gives up a lot of home runs. So there's just not a lot of quick fixes out there for the Rangers. This might be, I don't want to say rebuilding, but this might be one of the years where they just have to turn it over and say, hey, Profar, you're playing second. Hey, Leonis Martin, we signed you to a major league deal. We're going to put you in center. Let's see what we got.
Okay, I got this Facebook message from somebody just posted randomly. Said, to my kids and all the younger generation who have watched good baseball from the Rangers the last few years, you're about to see the Rangers I grew up watching. What the hell are these guys thinking? So what do you think of a statement like that? Do you think that's going to be pretty much the thought throughout Ranger Nation now?
Well, Oakland fans could have said that last year. There is no predicting what's going to happen. The Rangers, if you look at their starting four, if Matt Harrison continues, if Yu Darvish continues, they've got good pitching, and Oakland wins with good pitching. So there are other ways to win in baseball than the Rangers have done it the last few years. The thing is, the Rangers are going to have to find a different way to win unless something changes. I don't think this is a 90-loss team or anything like that, but who knows? I mean, it could be. But you've got Adrian Beltre, the best third baseman in the American League. You've got Ian Kinsler, who should be able to bounce back. You've got Nelson Cruz. You've got David Murphy. You've got Yu Darvish. You've got Matt Harrison. I mean, they're all-stars on this team, but the Rangers, the way it's going now, it's just there's a lot of negativity out there, and a lot of negativity for good reason. I mean, you can see why fans that have seen what's happened in the last 3 years would be frustrated with what they're seeing right now, and that's why they're fans.
Well, and Evan Grant asks a really good question on DallasNews.com today. He says the most disconcerting feeling about all of this is, why is it that nobody seems to want to play for the Rangers, a team that's won 3 straight 90-win seasons and has gone to the World Series 2 times in the last 3 years?
Yeah, and that's something the Rangers have to ask themselves. I don't know if that's a John Daniels thing, if that's a Texas thing, if that's a Nolan thing. I can't imagine that would be the case, because if you want to play for a winner in the American League over the last 3 years, this would be the team you'd want to go to. So I think the Rangers have to do some internal kind of soul searching, because there's definitely some questions there about what the deal is with this team right now.
And then there's the suggestion that maybe now, because the Rangers have gone basically for everything as far as their offseason moves, that it might be a desperation move to maybe have to trade an Elvis Andrus to try to get pitching or get a bigger bat or something like that. Do you see that happening?
I don't think the Rangers are going to get desperate. That's just not. It's not in the DNA of the way this organization is set up. I mean, they would rather run those guys out there, the players that they've invested in, and see what they've got, than try to make a desperate move that could hamstring your franchise. I mean, the Rangers made a desperate move 10 years ago when they signed Alex Rodriguez, and they felt the effects of that until they were able to turn things around. They're not going to do that again and set the franchise back.
Okay, and then at the same time we're watching the Rangers kind of back up, you're watching teams getting better and better in the American League West. How good do you think this move makes for the Angels, who, while adding Josh Hamilton, also have kind of started to rebuild their pitching staff and have lost a couple of key pieces to that staff? Yeah,
I mean, if Tommy Hanson is good, that helps them. If Sean Burnett is good, that helps the pitching. But it's going to come down to pitching. The Angels really have one bona fide starting pitcher who's an ace, and that's Jared Weaver. C.J. Wilson regressed last year from what he was in Texas. And then Santana's gone. Herron's gone. So you plug in Tommy Hanson to replace both of those guys, but you've still got issues. I mean, the Angels may be able to score 10 runs a game, but they might give up 12. So, like John Daniels said, and I got a lot of I didn't get flack, but when I tweeted that the Angels were a great team on paper before this, they're a great team on paper after this. I don't think he meant it as a slight to the Angels, and who knows, he may have said that just to try to make sure that he put that on paper out there. But you don't win playoff games in December. So that happens. We'll see what happens in October when this matters.
What do you think they're going to be like?
Well, I don't know. I think the pitching is going to be better if they can find some bullpen pieces. That's what I think they need to do now, is try to lock down some solid bullpen pieces and hope that the pitching can hold up. And if they're not going to score as many runs as they did last year, at least they can outpitch some teams. I think that's where they're going to go, because there's still bullpen guys out there. There's not a lot of bats out there.
Boy, crazy stuff today, Anthony. Hey, thanks very much for coming on. Congratulations to your Aggies, and and I'm sure you wept when Johnny Manziel won the Heisman Saturday night, right?
I did not weep, but I did have my shirt on and my Johnny football T-shirt, and I will be at the Cotton Bowl. Go figure.
Yeah, imagine that. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, and thank you very much for coming on today.
All right, no problem.
All right, Anthony Andro from Fox Sports Southwest covering the Rangers on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM, complete with his Johnny Manziel T-shirt. How about that?
Yeah.
I like that. Back with more in just a moment.